All hail the Clicks crew! All right, guys, today we are taking a look at a Mandarin centered Heroclix team. This is just something fun I've been wanting to do for a little bit. Mandarin's one of my favorite villains from all time. I remember watching the 90s version of the Iron Man cartoon way long ago, and the Mandarin was, the one of the main villains in that show. And I've just always liked him since then. In modern comics, I like him a lot how he is now. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a Mandarin Heroclix team. But before we get into this, now is a good time to let you know that Mr. Clicks Flicks is sponsored by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafé.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicks Flicks is also sponsored by trollandtoad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Visit trollandtoad.com and use promo code Mr. Clicks Flicks for 5% off your HeroClix order today. All right, guys, so this is a Mandarin Heroclix team. So what I did was I went with a mystical theme team for this one. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the main guy himself. So here we've got the Mandarin. So this is the one from the Captain America and the Avengers set. This is number 70. This is, I think there's only 2 modern versions of Mandarin right now. 70 points. As you can see, his opening stat line, 9 movement with running shot, 11 attack, precision strike, 18 defense, energy shield deflection, 3 damage with special, 7 range to target, which is actually pretty respectable. So let's go ahead, take a look at his card here. So he's got Mandarin minions, the hand, martial artist, mystical ruler, scientist. So he's got a pretty good assortment of keywords there. He's got 2 traits special on his damage. First trait is the Rings of Power. During force construction, you may include a number of different Mandarin rings objects on this card for 3 points each. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose up to 2 Mandarin ring objects on this card, and Mandarin can use its effects until your next turn. Mandarin can't be equipped. Okay, so we are going to be taking advantage of that. We're going to discuss what we're doing here in just a minute. The other trait he has is Chi Manipulation Toughness. When Mandarin attacks a character with the armor keyword, that character can't use defensive powers that attack. Not super great. I mean, toughness is good, obviously. That makes it so he's immune to poison. But, armor keyword doesn't show up too often, but it is a nice little buff. And then the special on his damages, it always comes at a price free. Choose Outwit or Perplex or Probability Control. Mandarin can use the chosen power until your next turn. You may instead choose all 3 powers, but if you do, at the end of your turn, deal him 1 unavoidable damage. Okay, so you get one of the arguably the 3 best support powers in the game, or you can take all 3 for 1 damage. He doesn't have willpower or indom or anything like that. With the 2021 rules change, not a problem, which in my opinion was, besides the 10s on a lot of these attacks, that was what was really holding him back. But again, he's got that perplex prob outwit on these, so easy enough to get him up to a 11 attack. And then with the new combat rules for close combat, that makes him 11-3. So pretty decent there. Not a bad start for a main guy for a team. So as far as rings go, since we're talking about him, we're going to talk about the rings. Since it's Mandarin and I wanted him to be the main dude of the team, we are using all 10 of the rings. I've never done this before, but I want to just for the funsies. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of quickly discuss, quickly, what all these rings do. So I got all 10 rings. If you don't have all 10 rings, don't worry about it. So Remaker ring, poison shape change. Good little defensive ring there. Spin ring, telekinesis free. Choose a character within 3 squares in line of fire. Place that character in an adjacent square. Good for board manipulation. Incandescent energy explosion. When this character uses it, damage dealt is penetrating. Really good for teams that need to stay adjacent to each other, especially with how WizKids said that Empower and Enhancement are going to be bigger deals. Bigger deal. The Liar. Mind Control. Equip characters. Minimum range value for Master Mind Control, Outwit, and Perplex is 10. So he gains Mind Control, and his Outwit and Perplex get a 10 range instead of the 7 that he has. So this can be helpful too, if you want to have him hang back and just kind of use that stuff. Lightning Ring. When equipped character uses lightning bolts, so multi-target, to target more than one character, increase damage dealt to each hit character by +1. So really good thing there. Zero. Barrier. Incapacitate. Barrier is free, but only to generate 1 marker. So again, another really good defensive. Influence. Force Blast. Choose a character within 3 squares line of fire. Knock that character back 1 square. Again, just a good board manipulation. So you figure if you use this with Spin or something like that, you can move somebody 2 squares. Which can be a big deal. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it can be. Spectral Ring. Precision Strike. When this character attacks a single character and hits, you may choose the attack deals 1 damage instead of normal damage. If you do, after resolutions, roll a d6 through 4 through 6. Remove an object equipped to hit character from the game. So this can be a really big deal if your opponent's using an object that is integral to how their team works. Like they really need the exospecs or something like that. You can get rid of them. So this is very situational, but really good. Nightbringer. Stealth. Smoke Cloud. Smoke Cloud is free, but only generate 2 markers. Again, I consider this a defensive ring. Diamonic is improved targeting, ignores hindering. When this character attacks a single character and hits after resolutions, the hit character modifies their attack and defense -1 until your next turn. So this is a good kind of like just stat modifications ring, and it makes it so that everybody that attacks after him gets a little bit of a buff. And that ability to get through stealth can be really helpful in certain situations. So he gets, on any given turn, he gets any 2 of those that you'd like. I'm not going to tell you which ones to run because it very fluid situation could be different. All right, next figure we're going to look at is Forge from the House of X Heroclix set. So here you go. You can see a little bit of the scaling difference from set to set with the new scaling. But here we are with Forge 002, mystical keyword. This mystical theme team, if I didn't say that already. Mutant CIA. So he's got stealth, improved movement, and improved targeting, ignores hindering. He's got this trait, which is the real reason he's on here. Technopath, Perplex. When Forge uses it to target another character that shares 2+ keywords, he may modify the chosen value except damage +2. So Mystical and Scientist are the 2 that he shares with Mandarin. So Mandarin can get his attack up by +2, or its defense up by +2, or whatever it is, other than damage, which you can't even perplex up anymore. From Forge. Just a nice little thing on there. 60 points, decent secondary attacker, sidestep with a 7 movement, 11 attack, psychic blast, 3 damage with that special, 6 range. Again, he's on here mostly for the perplex, but I would say competent secondary attacker. All right, next up is another supporty guy. It is Alex Wilder. I love this guy. I've loved him since he came into the game. So again, just excited to use him. So here we are. We've got Alex Wilder. He's got sidestep and stealth if he's within 4 squares. He's got this traitor trait, which we really don't care about. What we do care about is this several steps ahead of you. You just don't know it. Free an opponent chooses 2 outwit, perplex, probability control. Alex Wilder can use the chosen powers until your next turn. I mean, come on, how good of a stat of a thing is that? Yeah, so there's that. And if you notice, he also has the mystical and scientist keywords. So Forge could dump his 2 perplexes into Alex if that was really something you needed. So there you go. Really cool there. All right, and next up is a cool one that I know a lot of people really like. This is Dario Anger. So he is from the Captain America and the Avengers set. He's got this trait here, which is plus 25 points. I don't believe I paid that for him to be on this team, though. So you can bring in a Minotaur if he gets KO'd. Real reason he's on here is outwit probability control. Opposing characters within 5 squares can't use team abilities. So if somebody has Cosmic Energy, Power Cosmic Quintessence, get rid of that, and then he can use his outwit. Really a crucial thing there. 10 attack with that TK Mystics team ability. Mastermind, 5 range, single target. Again, just a pretty decent little support guy here. I like him a lot. And then next up is Windigo. How are you going to run a mystical team without Windigo here? So here's Windigo. And we're only running them at 15 points. And you know the deal with Windigo. He's got that stop click. He heals. He can deal damage multiple times to multiple characters. It's just, he is a super great figure. Just, he shows up on a lot of competitive teams. There's nothing I can say about him that hasn't already been said. And the last member of this team is Ghost Rider Super Rare Prime at her 40-point line. So we've got her here. She's got that mystical team ability. Improve movement, ignores elevated and hindering, although hindering is not really a thing anymore. She's got the Circle of 4 trait. If Ghost Rider hasn't been moved or placed this turn, modify attack and damage +1. So a neat little built-in stat modifier there. And then she's got a power action, retaliation, which is good. Poison, steal energy, stop, and invincible. Okay, so as we can see, for 40 points, she's got an 8 movement with hypersonic speed, 11 attack, precision strike, 17 defense, invulnerability, 3 damage with probability control, and a stop click there at the end of the dial. This is just a good harasser piece. I consider her a secondary attacker / tertiary attacker. She's just really good for harassing figures. Picking off, getting in and out of your opponent's support characters and stuff like that. Picking off the occasional colossal, because they tend to have impervious, so you can use, I believe you can use hypersonic and precision strike now, so you can get through that stuff. And then if she ends up off that click, she does have charged exploit, so she still has an easier time at that. With all the perplexes on this team, easy enough to get her up to a 13 for 4. Or for 5 if you wanted to dump one. Not bad for 40 points, right? Okay, so this is our Mystics team for the Mandarin. So basically what we're doing, Mandarin's the showstopper. We're using him. Everything starts and ends with him. He is our ranged guy. We're picking whatever 2 rings fit our situation there. Then we're using Forge as a secondary attacker. And he is also using his +2 perplex to support Mandarin. Mandarin's using whatever things you think are going to work for him. Start off the game is going to be perplex. Then it depends what's going on later on, what powers he has. And then, we've got a couple probability controls over here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move Dario around the board. He's going to lag behind these 3. Ghost Rider, Forge, and Mandarin. And then once you've got it set up where you're going to attack your opponent, that's when you rush him in. You shut down any team abilities that need to shut down. You outwit. Then you rush him in. If outwit's one of your powers, or you get lined up for your prob, you're going to have one of those. Or both. and then you're going to go ahead and use these guys for maximum effect. And then Windigo's just there for somebody does try to take a pot shot at one of your easier guys, or tries to get him or something. You do have that ability to make the that retaliation, which is just phenomenal. All right, guys. So you guys let me know what your favorite Mandarin team is. I always enjoy reading that stuff in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos, and also it lets YouTube know, hey, I enjoyed this video. Maybe other people would as well. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.